People are not going to do is flip the switch because I defeated him at his own game and make me look like I'm foul because I recorded the devil. Wack is a blackmailer. He is an extortionist. Them niggas is putting the pressure on. Like that shit he did to Gilly and Wallow was foul. All the way foul. Everybody that Wack.
What do you mean? What do you mean the Gilly and Wallow? Like
why would he go on you want a podcast? Why would you tell the world? People like Gilly and respect him. Why would you tell millions of people punched in his face by Beanie and ran? Then I would have never did that to Gilly. I made videos about you in the past based off of the Chirac stuff because I didn't even know who you was and how big you was until I started finding out about King Von and FBG Duck and looking at certain situations. Then I was like, oh, okay, academic. I didn't know who you was. Then I seen Ice on trying to dish you. So that's when I learned who you was. But it was like, yo.
Hold on. I'm gonna be honest. You know what I've realized? I don't know. I think we have different perspective of this because like I look at that and like if you mention, right, like if right now, right, say somebody like try to beat me up, right, while we're at the podcast, and if you mention it now, I don't know. I think I just, you know, and this is respectfully. I think we just have different perspective because like me, I wouldn't care, like, you know what I mean. So I looked at because I was at that podcast when he mentioned the thing about Gilly. And I was looking at like, yo, I think Wack's just trying to get good content. But I ain't gonna lie, Gilly was a little upset. Gilly was, I've never seen Gilly like that before. And I guess to your perspective on it, maybe when you look at it like that, it's foul because that's not content. That's more like you're putting out something to disrespect somebody, right?
My whole thing, listen, my whole thing is like this, right? When he sat up there, he said out of his mouth, that's why Bam fucked you in the ass, which Bam never did. That never happened. But he violated me, nevertheless. When he said what he said out of his mouth, the gloves came off. There's no respect no more. You see what I'm saying? I would have never leaked those. I would have never let that audio out on him if he didn't disrespect me like that in my face. Like how he talking about he would have said it on me in that room. If he would have swung on me in that room, he would have died. Anybody that knows me knows. If he would have swung, he would have died in that room. And that's the bottom line to that. Wack play all he wants to, but Wack, no. I got audio with Wack sitting up there saying, yo, I know. Until you hear oh, that's right. He got the lawyers coming at me right now because he don't want y'all to hear what he had to say about everybody else. Wack100 is nobody's friend. The dude is the devil. And bottom line to it is, that shit that he was doing to Nipsey Hussle is going to cost him. He know that from now on, he better stay on the outskirts of town because somebody ain't gonna like what he did. That dude is foul. He telling everybody that Nipsey Hussle was actually an informant. He was a rat. Oh, wait for the rest of the audio. Nipsey was a rat. That's what he's trying to say. Nipsey was a rat.
And let me ask you a question because I talked to Wack about this, right? And Wack said, this is where your information isn't correct or all the way correct. He said the alleged video of whatever sexual stuff was going on only came out after Nipsey died, so it's impossible anybody could have used that to try to blackmail or extort Nipsey because Nipsey was dead already.
Play his words, word for word what he said. This is why everybody is disgusted and nobody's dealing with him. He's a manipulator. Play his words. Don't let him try to manipulate you. What he said was Nipsey was, yo, first of all, it's the tapes. Then you gotta understand, like he said, him and Big U was scheming on getting 30% of Nipsey Hussle's estate. The nigga said so much foul shit, you're leaving shit out. You can't justify all of that in that audio. It's over for Wack. As far as a podcast goes, ain't nobody going to sit down with Wack no more. His career's over with. Nobody's going to trust him after what he just did and what he said out of his own mouth. He can't clean that up. I would love to hear what Big U have to say when he hear how Wack100 had me on a phone conversation on a three-way while he was, and then got off the phone. Like, matter of fact, the funny part about it is he called me back because when he got on the phone with Big U, after a while I hung the phone up.
Wait, he called Big U out. Hold on. By the way, Big U did kind of respond. He put up a message and he said, I'm in the month of Ramadan. I'm not dealing with COINTELPRO. and he says can't save what don't need to be saved, and I don't know what that means. That seemed very obvious. I don't know.
Listen, the obvious is that that until the day Nipsey died, them niggas was putting pressure on him. They made his life a living hell. And anybody that say they love Nipsey, that rock with Big U or Wack, is not loyal to Nipsey. They're not a real true Nipsey fan. Them dudes is foul. So he can sit up there and say, oh, Nipsey gave me an award. Man, Nipsey was scared to death of them dudes, man. Nipsey brother pulled a gun out on Big U. You don't do that to your friends. He backed out a gun out on him.
Yeah.
Big U bragged about how he went to Nipsey studio and took the equipment out of the studio. Nipsey Hussle is dead. Shitty Cuz did not just kill Nipsey Hussle. That was a hit. Not only was it a hit, when you listen to the audio that I got, please, man, he already had, it was premeditated. After the dude hit, after he killed Nipsey Hussle, he went straight to the mental hospital because it was already planned.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that there was any part of the recorded conversation? Because I listened to some of the parts already, and it feels like Wack is buttering you up in terms of like, you just meet somebody trying to get to, like, he's telling you certain shit to make you feel like, oh shit, you're the guy. You know what I mean? So he's like, yo, this was really going on. So you could kind of bite into that, and then you could trust him more. I'm not saying.
That's what made the niggas stupid. Them niggas is greasy.
Are you like, because I'm gonna keep it real with you, some of the names and the things you mentioned and probably brought to light, are you worried about your safety?
The day that I was born.
Because by the way, I'll tell you this. I've heard a lot of industry stuff. Anytime it comes to Nipsey, first of all, people already thought we had this beef, which we actually talked about it before he died, but I just stay out of it. You know what? Because again, Nipsey at this point is a martyr. He is someone who is mythicized in hip hop culture, where the story has been written. There is no extra shit that niggas really want to know. So if you come with that information, you are going against the legend, and you're probably somebody who's going to be blamed for tarnishing the legacy, which could have a lot of ramifications. There's some people who probably be like, yeah, we don't like Wack for what he said, but we don't like you neither because you leaked it. That puts you in jeopardy.
See, the real niggas in the street, they all hitting me up, and they don't feel that way. That's master manipulation. See, the problem is that there's so much energy around me right now. I got so much shine on me right now that certain niggas are getting jealous. Oh, wow, he recorded a conversation. Shut the hell up. I recorded the conversation for Nipsey fans so they can hear what the hell was going on with Nipsey, and people love me for it. From the east to the west coast. You got bloggers that's jealous because the reality of it is this shit that we did with us, with this podcast, was dope and it was big. But the aftermath with me and Wack is through the roof. And this is legend. This is going to go down in history. Yeah,
so the podcast is having legs essentially, to be honest. Why? Because now this is a different storyline. This is like the sequel almost turned into bigger than the original.
Yeah, it is. And see, the thing about it is also, there's probably like about 1,000 podcasters that's eating off of the situation with us at the table, and even more of the aftermath. So it got even bigger. Absolutely. And now here's where the jealousy comes in. Nobody wants to see Hassan Campbell on top. I am the underdog. I'm doing everything by myself from a cell phone. I am the underdog. No laptop, no nothing. Everything from a cell phone. And dudes don't understand how I got this far. And now, even still, it's like millions of people are watching and actually see. Like, yo, is this really going on? I'm on the phone. I've been on the phone with celebrities on a daily basis. Never have I recorded anybody else's conversation. I conversations for my personal reason, because I knew I was dealing with snakes. And Wack was the biggest one out of all of them. I recorded a conversation that I had with another dude that's like kind of like gangster, only because if he went up on the end, he said, yo, I pressed that nigga like Wack did, I was gonna say, nah, this is how the conversation went. I never leaked the conversation, and I'm not gonna say who, because that brother ain't never went out there and told people, yo, I had to check that nigga, this, that. So if he ever did, the conversation is gonna say, no, this is what really happened. Outside of that, I don't record conversations.
Yeah,
That's not my style. But I knew Wack was the devil. And see, the bottom line to it is, it's like, yo, the nigga admitted to extorting Oscar De La Hoya, a great champion boxer, who relied on them dudes to get him, you know, some people, girls, dudes, whatever he like. He dressing up in negligees and shit like that, in women's attire, and they extorted him. Nipsey Hussle extorted him. Everybody, yo, it's a long list. I'm not even giving out the list of everybody that he squeezed in, he's disrespecting. It's like, yo, Nipsey been dead, he died a horrible death. Why is Wack100 still running around, dragging and just destroying that man's name? Why is he destroying his legacy? Where's the hate and the jealousy coming from, where he hate him so much that he won't let him rest in peace? Why people ain't asking that question?
Well, I'll definitely clear up this, and again, you know, this is up to anybody who's listening for them to either believe me or not. Whatever, maybe you're right. This word "squeeze" could mean a lot of different things. I can tell you, this is the 100% full, transparent view of me and Wack's relationship. We've never exchanged any money, but I think we do see there's certain benefits. By the way, there was at the time, the first time I ever talked to Wack, there was a situation with the Migos when I was with Joe Budden, and people were calling around, blah, blah. Wack called. It was like, yo, listen, they mad at Joe Budden. Where's your position on this? I know you're not a street dude. I'm like, nah, I'm not into that type of stuff. Anyway, Wack has always reached out when it comes to other situations like that. And also, I have given him like advice, or like, you know, like extending the platform to, like, if he has an artist, in terms of, and I don't know if people want to consider that a squeeze. Maybe that's a squeeze. But
listen, man, like I said, Wack100 out of his own mouth was extorting Oscar De La Hoya. You sitting up there and you telling me that I don't think
you think he's extorting for money? Like I'm trying to get the nature of the extortion.
He was blackmailing him. He was blackmailing him with sex tapes and pictures. The same way he was blackmailing Nipsey Hussle with sex tapes and pictures. This is out of his own mouth. I got recordings. I got him on tape. The nigga's foul. He's foul. Wack100 is the type of nigga get you out of town. You ain't got no shorty with you. You wanna get with a. He lined you up with a shorty, and then they got you on tape. Shorty beat her, and this is allegedly. I'm just giving you like some of the shit that he admitted to. You don't even know you in a room with hitting cameras and shit like that, and now there's footage all over the place. This is what he does. Wack is not a friend of anybody. He did it to De La Hoya. He did it to Nipsey Hussle. How you get sex tapes on De La Hoya and Nipsey Hussle?
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Yo, Hassan.
Hold up. Act one more for you. See, this is why the internet is going crazy. Why is it that Wack100 was the one that got the tape? Wack100 got the sex tape of Kanye West. How did you get Kanye West sex tape? Oh, you got it from Ray J. Right. So you would have got the sex tape from Ray J. Why? So you could extort money out of Kanye West. And then Kanye West brought the tape back. I gotta say allegedly. You see what I'm saying? So now you gotta understand something. You extorting niggas. How you got sex? So now you got Kanye West's sex tape, or rather Ray J and Kim Kardashian sex tapes. You got that. You got De La Hoya sex tape, and you got Nipsey Hussle sex tape. How do you explain that? He's the devil.
Is there a way where you and Wack could, like, because again, I think here's what I fear, right? I've been in this industry and I've been privy to certain stuff, but I know when certain things could hurt other people that's not intended to hurt. And I think where you're at right now is that you have a lot of maybe inside knowledge or information, and granted you want to out Wack, but there's going to be a lot of blowback, and there's going to be a lot of, you know, collateral damage in the sense of when you mention that tape with Nipsey Hussle, the particular baby mama in question is now under fire because people are asking her questions. You get me? When you mention some of these other things, people are going to go to that and be like, well, we heard it from this. again, would you want to get to the point with Wack where, because I feel like you're using all this just to weaponize against Wack, how could y'all settle it without this? Unless your goal is to just expose it all.
Listen, my whole thing is, Wack violated me. All Wack had to do was call me on the phone and say, yo, man, because Hocus tried to squash it, right? I told Wack I ain't got no beef with him. Wack want to be disrespectful. Let's get disrespectful. And see, my whole thing is, Wack is a clown. But, nigga, instead of handling it in the streets, he talking about going to court. Oh, I'm going to court. So now the gangster going to court, you bitch ass nigga? That's a bitch move. Now you going to court. That's a bitch move. As far as it going to the street act, I don't know if anybody told you about me.
No, whoa,
but everybody.
No. I don't want it to go to the street. I'm just saying, I felt like if you and Wack, because I seen y'all demeanor in person. You get me? And I don't know how y'all were on the phone, but I think I've always said this. You see, Clubhouse is a place where it entices somebody to talk shit. So you then hear Wack basically giving his side, and of course he's a little hyped up, and then you're like, oh, yo, this thing is talking like he pressed me. So now I gotta go in there, y'all start getting an argument, people hyping it up, y'all start basically throwing around the Frank stand, and then you know what happens? You get to a point where you're like, man, fuck it. Since he thought he had the one up on me, the gloves are off, I'm dropping and I'm gonna expose this guy. You get what I mean?
Well, you know what? At the end of the day, like I said, the nigga disrespected me. I would have never let the audio out without his permission, because we was both supposed to be doing a podcast or whatever the case may be. So, you know, for legal purposes, I'm saying that's why I was recording them, because we were supposed to be doing a podcast together. But I would have never released it, because I think that he looks really, really bad. He was really, really shiesty. Business is business.
Yeah.
I showed the devil love, but I fed him with a long spoon because I knew we couldn't be trusted. When we were sitting together with each other, we did business. It felt good. We all smiled together. He had to make it look like he was the man. He was pressing me like dogs. Even though I'm not a street nigga no more, I'm a family man. I still got street ways, and I still got that respect that comes along with it. And I'm not going to let nobody disrespect me. And see, the one thing, like I said, I'm glad that you made it clear. Wack did not disrespect me or press me face to face. The nigga was giving me hugs and had pretty teeth. He had pretty teeth. He kept smiling.
Well, I think the disagreement with that is, I think he's saying that he said certain stuff, which I watched later. Like, yeah, he was saying little comments, and I think he said I was just, well, hold on.
No.
Would you be down to have a conversation with him?
When he went to Clubhouse, not the one that you listened to,
yeah.
There was one prior to that. They had like 2 rooms. The nigga was sitting up there telling people, he put the pressure on me. He was talking to me, telling me, yeah, nigga, you got fucked in your butt. The nigga did not talk to me like that. No man will ever say some shit like that in front of my face and not get stabbed dead in your neck. Nobody.
Would you have a conversation with him?
I'm willing to have a conversation with him.
Wack hit me. He want to come in here and talk.